Howdy, and welcome back to the Texas Bucket List. You know, over the past decade, I have seen some of the most beautiful parts of our state, but not as many as the man in our next story. Thanks to his passion for photography, wildlife, and all things Texas, Wyman Meinzer has captured some iconic images from across the state. And just getting to see them is well worth a stop on the Texas Bucket List. The beauty of Texas never ceases to amaze me. The sunsets in El Paso, the majesty of El Capitan in the Guadalupe Mountains, the terrain of the Big Bend, and the Texas State Bison Herd roaming Caprock Canyon. These are just a few of my favorite sights across the state, and I feel extremely blessed being able to witness these all firsthand. But it hardly scratches the surface as to what photographer Wyman Meinzer has seen.
I know what I want out of life, out of my images, and it's a good feeling to finally get to this point.
Wyman has had a long career, shooting some incredible scenes across the Lone Star State since the 70s. And it all started with a love for the outdoors as a boy in Benjamin, Texas.
Being raised on the ranch out here, my dad was a foreman on a 27,000-acre ranch east of Benjamin. And I hunted all the time. I mean, that was my first love, hunting. Hunting and archaeology and paleontology. I loved to look for bones, look for Indian artifacts, but mostly I just loved to hunt.
That love turned into a passion that he lives.
I decided that I wanted to just totally immerse myself in hunting. 7 days a week, 30 days a month, all winter long I wanted to hunt. And so I moved into a little half dugout shack on the Pitchfork Ranch and ran trap lines, 150-mile trap lines. And I mean, did it. I mean, we're talking about made a living with a rifle and steel trap. And some of the greatest times of my life.
When Wyman made it to college, he naturally studied wildlife management, and that opened the door to a new way to bag his prey, photography.
The interest began when I was at Tech, when I received a grant to conduct research on coyotes, to study the food dietary habits of coyotes in the rolling plains of Texas. And my major professor, Darrell Lynn Eckert, said, you need to document some of this stuff that you're doing, So I would shoot coyotes and eviscerate them and find out, exactly how much different species are in their stomachs, what percentages. And so he loaned me a camera, and I went, whoa, I like this. This is cool.
It didn't take long for Wyman to get his pictures published.
In 1974, I was out there and running a line on the backside of a pasture called J2, and I caught this coyote. And I pulled out a camera and with a 50-millimeter lens, and that coyote, he was like, I know I'm going down, but I'm gonna take you with me if I can. And I was really mesmerized by that. And so I got down low and I took the picture of him. And little did I know that it would be published in Texas Monthly and selected as one of the best 100 pictures ever published in Texas Monthly.
Wow.
And I had no experience with photography. I had no training, no schooling on photography. It's just stuff I picked up.
As he grew in skill and knowledge, there wasn't anything Wyman wouldn't do to get the perfect shot.
I'm a private pilot since 1977, and I used to shoot aerials just by flying the plane, taking the door off, and flying the plane with my knees.
Wow.
And shooting out the door.
Despite his landscape photos being so stunning you could get lost in them, Wyman's biggest love is wildlife.
That is the hardest photography of all. I have photographed grizzly bear in Alaska, moose, caribou. I've photographed stone sheep in the Yukon, and nothing can compare with the difficulty of getting a great predator image, because they are so elusive, they're so aware of their surroundings, and you have to really know what you're doing in order to get a really top-notch image of a coyote.
From hiding out in blinds made of earth to sitting completely still for hours at a time, getting the perfect picture required patience, tenacity, and being ready for that split-second moment to capture awe.
Back in the 80s when I lived in this jail, and it was a snowy day, and I was bored with being here, and I thought, I'm just gonna go out and try to get some photographs. So I went to a prairie dog town, and there were burrowing owls everywhere. And so the wind was blowing, it was overcast, it was just a miserable day. And I saw that a little burrowing owl hiding behind a mound of snow. And so I crawled out of the pickup with a 500 millimeter Canon f4.5 lens with a Canon f1N with a Kodachrome 64. And I crawled on my stomach through the snow and I got that photograph. And that is probably one of the more memorable shots.
Is there anything left for you to shoot in the state of Texas, or have you shot it all?
Oh, you know, there's always going to be something, you know, weather related. I'm not a tornado chaser, I'm not a big storm chaser, but I love sky shots. I get all the sky shots I need right around here. I mean, we get the big frontal systems coming off the Llano Estacada and they start really churning, getting energized right about here, and you get some fantastic sky shots. I've done 2 sky books. I really don't need to do another one, but I never tire of shooting skies.
In 1997, Wyman was named the official state photographer of Texas.
I've been very lucky because I never held down a steady job. All the jobs I've had were just interim jobs, and I worked for one thing, and that was to be a photographer.
Over the years, he's released 30 books of his stunning photographs. Many of these places he's been able to capture aren't open to just anyone with a camera.
I try to go on private land holdings that protect very special places that the average person will never get to see. Through my imagery, I offer that to the viewing public. That's what I want to continue doing.
Well, what's on your bucket list? What's something that you haven't been able to do in your lifetime?
You know, I really don't know. I just keep my options open. You know, I've shot a lot of stuff. I've done this for over 40 years. And I know there's something out there. I'm just waiting for it. I'm just waiting for the right moment. And I'll be prepared for it when it gets here.
Well, thanks for watching this segment of the Texas Bucket List. To see more, be sure you subscribe to our channel. And to see full episodes, become a member. In the meantime, you can also shop our store at the Texas Bucket List Store and Studio.